Hi everybody, Katyvern here, and today I am going to review the Godzilla Store exclusive, Bandai Godzilla Store exclusive movie monster series, Gorosaurus. There we go, that's its full title. The Godzilla Store exclusive 2021 Bandai movie monster series, Gorosaurus. And this is how he looks. He's not really based off of any Pacific Gorosaurus. He's just a generic Gorosaurus figure. Here's the tag, which is from the King Kong movie. I forgot the title of, but yeah. I know that this is from the King Kong movie where King Kong fought against Gorosaurus. Here's more details on the inside. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though, the depictions of Gorosaurus are very, the suit doesn't do Gorosaurus justice, if I'm being purely honest. At least the figure does provide some more, makes him less, ugly. But, yeah, let's get to reviewing on this guy, and, yeah, starting off with the sculpt. I say, which is pretty cool. Pretty good so far. Details on the mouth, details on the eyes. As you can tell, he's got really nice scale details. Not really a big fan of that kind of sculpt, but at least there were effort put in with the teeth being, indented into the mouthpieces. Look what happened! Which is kind of like very similar to the... This is a very similar mold to the one Monster Island Buddies uses. Forgot which Pacific Gorosaurus figure, but it is definitely the older variant in comparison to this. Look what happened! Now we got the spinal details. The pointed end, obviously. Oop. More details on the tail. Very nice. It's a very beautiful sculpt for this guy. I'm not sure why they made him an Godzilla Store exclusive, but it's Bandai. They make really weird decisions. But yeah, this weird kangaroo dino sword thing, not bad. Definitely does better than what the suit does. A kaiju better justice than what the suit in the movies provide. I am sorry, I am not big fan of the suit in the movies. It looks awkward, as you can tell. Pretty cool though, very representative of the kaiju. Typical broad, yeah, underbelly around the crotch, the legs, very kangaroo-like, sorta, although I will admit the short legs are very awkward to me, considering that this guy does behave much like a kangaroo when it comes to the long tail and his fighting style. Which I think it's a really neat idea that they put a dinosaur, they gave a dinosaur a kangaroo fighting style. I think that's a really unique twist on a monster. He's just a basic dinosaur who can fight like a kangaroo. That is such a neat idea. Also, another problem I have with this sculpt, is its arm. I don't know why, but why does it look like it's like stuck like this? It just doesn't really look right. So for the sculpt, I would definitely give it like a 9 out of 10. It has its issues, but overall it's not a bad sculpt. Bandai does one thing right, and it's a sculpt. Now, second part is the paint job. Obviously the mouth and teeth are painted. Very nicely detailed. The eyes are painted. Ironically, while it looks derpy, it's very fitting for Gorosaurus because, that's just typical Gorosaurus for you. He always looked derpy. So, yeah. Whoa, what happened? Whoa. And the eye detail is very well done. Definitely precise for the eye. And the fact that it doesn't really look too bad for considering the fact that Gorosaurus already looks derpy. Paint details on the claws. Unfortunately, does fall victim to the only top part gets painted. Same goes with the other side. But, yeah, at least the underside is very well painted, exception to the tail. But I'll get on to that part later, as another part of the leg is very much painted. Toe claws are painted like that too. Sorry, it's kind of hot. The underbelly is very well painted as well. I liked how the underarms and legs are well painted, and it's like a really neat. And also, I really like this gradient green that has the top, and just like this gradient, barely noticeable green. Although, the thing is, despite the tail, you don't really notice the fact that under the tail is not even painted, and the fact that it's incomplete at the end of the tail with the gradient green, which is very neat actually. The fact that it's barely noticeable actually does kind of serve it justice rather than the in comparison to the Godzillas and stuff. Very nicely done. Actually, it's actually kind of neat that it's barely noticeable, at least considering Bandai's recent history with the paint job. Alright, so for paint job, I probably would just give it a 7. It's not too bad. And now for the third part. Articulation. No head articulation, unfortunately. So I can't really make him do any goofy stuff. All you say, look what happened. But yeah, articulation at the left arm. Actually, that's right arm. My bad. Articulation at the right. Mine's a little loose right here. But I think hopefully it's just my copy and not anyone else's. Articulation at the leg. A little stiff right here. Articulation at the left leg. Of course, the movement's going to be very stiff, but I do not recommend moving this guy around too much because it does obviously have the folds of what is kind of based off the suit. 360 articulation right here, although a little warning, it does tend to almost pop out. Since, it's kind of where they attach the tail in. But yeah, overall, articulation's not bad. Kind of average. The only thing that's really posable is the arms, but I mean, that's typical Bandai Safubi stuff. I mean, you could get him to, get in this pose, like he did in, the tail up pose, where he actually looks more like an actual depiction of a dinosaur than the outdated depiction of Allosaurus with a T-Rex head. But yeah, articulation isn't bad. I would also give it a 7, so it's probably a 23 out of 30 in total. I know this is rather a quicker video this time. There isn't really much on review on Goro. He's very simplistic for a kaiju, and honestly, I appreciate that. For something that's really simple, he really kind of, I don't know. I may be just being a little weird here, but he's obscure and simple, but honestly, that's okay. It's honestly a good kaiju. And also, if you liked the video, go ahead, drop a like, subscribe. If you didn't, well, whatever. But yeah, look what happened.